I'd like to introduce now Paramesh Gopi, from the President and CEO of AppliedMicro. It's under his leadership that AppliedMicro has really embarked upon this new business and using their APM's experience in on-chip system design and to incorporate this now moving into the 64-bit ARM. And Dr. Gopi's got a PhD in electrical engineering from University of California, Irvine. Thanks. Please welcome Dr.
I'll leave this slide up here because I think it's really good in terms of getting us to talk about why this is important, both for us, for the silicon community, and for the ARM ecosystem. About 2009 is when we actually, we were the first architectural licensee for the 64-bit architecture. And it's been a long road here, but it's extremely exciting. And the most exciting part of it is the offshoot into the scientific computing space and the high-performance computing space. So before I get started, I think I want to acknowledge all of our partners here. First and foremost, want to thank Jim for taking the time here. We didn't realize how much of a closing the loop process these guys have helped with, both from a robustness perspective, from understanding between HP and them, all of the different, 15 years of code and what was required to be a real high-performance computing machine, right? And bring that to the ARM space. Thank you very much. Second of all, I think word has to be said. I think Simon and the ARM team have been extremely supportive of us from the days of Hyde Park when they didn't want to talk about a 64-bit architecture to really enabling us to do this type of work. And it's really come a long way. Third, I want to thank two specific companies that have been very instrumental in getting us to show working production-ready demos today. One is NVIDIA, Sumit and team, and Mellanox, Gilad and team. They've done a fantastic job getting all the pieces together around us to be able to show actually a production-ready product today. It's not just us being production-ready, but all of the pieces coming together. So just to recap, XGene is composed of a couple of key elements that we put together over the last 4 years. One is extremely high-performance ARM cores, 2.4 to 2.7 gig type devices, a completely coherent interconnect on chip that can extend off chip, and the key communications I/O that we need both for the Ethernet pieces of it as well as the memory pieces attached to a processor. So what it represents is, the notion of taking data center brawny cores, data center connectivity, and fusing them together to really change the ability to be proactive in building the right solution for this very important piece of the high-performance computing market, right? So today we're pretty happy because XGene 1, we have production wafers already started, customers ordering stuff, and I'm so happy to see that the community is taking advantage of this in a different vector, which is awesome. The second piece of it is our 28 nanometer devices are in our labs. We've integrated support for RDMA. We're working very closely with Mellanox to make sure that we're fully interoperable with their standards, with what they've set up. And we'll be able to show a much larger scale-out kind of system with their help over the next 6 months. We're really excited because we're now embarking on XGene 3, which is a FinFET device, which we'll announce over the next 6 to 12 months, which will really, I think, have the ability to address what I'll call the super high performance part of the market, right? And I think what we are doing in the process is actually very, very clearly showing the industry that there is now a real alternative ecosystem in place to service high-performance computing that leverages 3 major asset bases. A connectivity asset base. For those of you who don't know, we shipped our first 1/4 terabit fiber optic, copper, and long-distance single-chip device to a really large set of networking OEMs that will be able to link data centers and rack-scale computing units together. Our base business is all about mixed signal and analog in the connectivity space. And then moving forward, we see all that technology being leveraged into systems on chip to be able to build right-sized solutions for different problems, right? Which is actually what ARM really brings into this space. More importantly, we've taken the time to architect and to now prove. I mean, it's no more PowerPoint. You can see Xeon class computing today on the floor. It's going to ship imminently. It's already shipped many, many thousands of pilot production parts. And we're very happy to say that we also have thousands of development systems out there. So the broader ecosystem from a software point of view has really come a long way. Oracle is optimizing Java completely on XGene. Red Hat, CentOS, Fedora 7 is also going to be optimized and trialed out on XGene. And Canonical's 14.4 LTS is shipping today. So I think, if as Simon and I talked about on the ARM side, we're very excited because this is the first real ARM that's armed the high-performance computing space, right? So having said that, I think one of the things that I wanted to do today is make sure that we cover a few things and let the panelists actually have more free-flow discussion here, but actually wanted to also thank our partners at HP because they've been extremely instrumental in giving us an industry view of what x86 expects today, or x86 users expect. So the next video, I think, will capture a few of their thoughts in terms of what they believe we brought to the table, number one. Number two, how close the two are. I think the benchmarks are coming out. They're very clearly compatible, and there's a huge energy difference in terms of what we consume versus an x86 solution. But more importantly, to this slide's point, you now have a real choice in terms of I/O, systems integrator partners here like E4, Eurotech, Boston, and all of the external ecosystem to really build something disruptive.